Hello everyone and welcome back to Rolling Solo. My name is Adam Smith and today we are starting A Ship in a Storm, a Kickstarter scenario by Issac for the Gloomhaven second reprint on Kickstarter. Now, this looks to be like pure survival. That's what this scenario all entails. We have to survive for 12 rounds. 6 of those rounds are going to send regular, normal monsters at us, being either the frost demons, the lurkers, or the wind demons, and the other 6 rounds are going to be elite, and at the same time as dealing with all of these guys spawning in these white areas here where I've mentioned their names just for ease. We also have Drail over here, who's going to be moving and attacking on his own, or her own, sorry, and then Barty over here is going to stay put, but they both have 10 XP. And both of them cannot die in this scenario. So we're gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna read the scenario. This is gonna be a crazy one. There's a couple things that I want to mention from the previous video, the upkeep video, that I want to clarify to make sure you guys understand. I did give myself the volatile bombs that we had earned from the prior scenarios. I have not used them yet, and so I'm bringing them in on this campaign because I think this is the time I'm going to need them. Potentially, we'll see. And I've got one of each on both sides. The other thing that we earned was the necklace of teeth. Now, I had a choice to make here with the Tinker because the Tinker already had an item on him called the Iron Helmet. Now, it's a good helmet, armor, and stuff like that. And if you pull a 2x modifier, it counts as a 0, and it never goes away. So it's nice. But this one was nicer in that every single time I kill somebody, I get a damage back. Now, I'm starting to wonder, based on how many guys are going to spawn here and how absolutely overpowered these guys are, as to whether or not that's a good choice. I think it is. I think healing is going to be what I'm going to want more so than this. I think this might come up a couple times, but probably not as often as me killing things. So I'm going to choose to not equip the Iron Helmet for this particular scenario. We're gonna wear the necklace. It's a head item, so that's my rationale. We're gonna get these characters all set up. So 0 and level 2 for the Tinkerer. So 2. All of our enemies now are scenario level 2, so they're monster level 3 because we're playing solo with 2 characters. So they're even more insane than they were in previous episodes. And our Craghart's gonna go down to 0 for XP, and also his hit points are at 14 because he is level 3. We've got all the backup enemies here ready to go when we need them, although I'll probably just shuffle them off to the side for now so that they're not in our way. This is going to be crazy. So what I'm going to do here for you guys is try to sum up what we are talking about here. We are talking about a ship in a storm. So let me read this introduction for you. The first thing is, based on the decision path that you guys chose, we chose to make peace with Barty instead of getting physical and aggressive and potentially doing something we might regret. Barty's the guy up in the top left there, all fuzzy. The goal is to protect Drail. Drail's over here. Barty on the left over there. And we have to protect him for 12 turns, as I mentioned earlier. So our introduction, I'll read this out. Well, ain't that a sight for wow. Well, ain't that a sight for the ages? Barty says as he stands over you. Some mad sellswords crash into my ship, leave me for dead, force me to piece together a new boat from the wreckage, and then suddenly they appear in the stark middle of the sea looking for rescue. Not only that, but you still have this treacherous Quattro with you. He jabs at Drail with an oar. What kind of world is this where the likes of her can yet be breathing? You murderous bastard, Drail spits out as she coughs up seawater. Only after I see you dead will I allow myself to die. Murderous, Barty faints in indignation. Why correct me if I'm wrong, lass, but did I not just save your skin? Would you like me to throw you back into the sea? Drill yells in anger and you step in to stop the altercation from turning bloody. You point to the horizon, reminding everyone that a storm is approaching. You'll be able to sort out your differences when and if you get through alive. Aye, Barty says, while Drail sulks in silence. Thanks to you, this ship is a broken fraction of what she once was. And I have no crew. I can't steer us through, but I'll need your help. I can sense the work of the angry spirits of the sea. This isn't over, half-ear, Drail shouts over the growing sounds of the storm. Just stay away from me until we're through. So these are the special rules for this scenario. These two individuals have to stay as we're trying to keep them as far apart as possible. They have 10 XP each, and you'll see this Y in a second. And so the scenario rules state that Drail and Barty are both allies to you and enemies to all monster types. So they're going to try to fight enemies. However, they are also enemies to each other. Drail performs an move 4, attack 3 using the monster attack modifier deck action every round on initiative 50. So to make that really easy, I cut out a piece of paper, put initiative 50, move, and attack are mentioned on there so that we don't forget as we go through. Barty is considered to have an initiative of 1 for the purposes of focusing, but does nothing on his turn. So both Drail and Barty have 10 life points each, and the reason is because the L there in that equation stands for your scenario level, and our scenario level is 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, plus 6 is 10. So they have 10 hit points each, and the scenario is lost if either one of them dies. Anytime Drail or Barty suffers damage, we can choose either the Cragheart or the Tinker to lose a card out of our hands to negate that damage. Now, we have a certain portion of this paragraph here that pertains to us because we're playing with 2 characters in our party. So it says, in the beginning of every round, after selecting character ability cards as normal, which is these right here, and also, picking your character ability cards are these right here. So after that, you're going to reveal an ability card for all 3 monsters, whether or not they're on the board. So they're not on the board to start. We're going to do something different than any other rules video we've done. We're always pulling initiative cards at the beginning of every round for all 3. This is going to help determine what spawns. The initiative values on these cards will determine which type of enemy spawns. For 2 characters, 1 monster of the type with the highest initiative spawns at the beginning of every odd round. And 1 monster of the type with the lowest initiative spawns at the beginning of every even round. And that's all we have to worry about for us. So, for instance, we're starting on round 1, so that's an odd round. So when we go ahead, we're going to pull all the initiative cards, and as it states in the rules here, with the highest initiative. So whichever one is the highest initiative, that is the one that will spawn. On the next round, we go to round 2, it'll be the lowest initiative will spawn. And that's essentially what's going to happen for 12 rounds. For the first 6, they're normal. For the last 6, they're elite. Things are going to get nasty. As you can see, these guys are not weak. They're pretty heavy hitters, and especially when they get up to the elite abilities, they're very strong. So that's essentially it. And then the very bottom here just reiterates what I already mentioned. These spawns are all normal in rounds 1 to 6 and all elite in rounds 7 to 12. So this just talks about what happens in terms of each of the 3 spawning. Now each one actually has a different effect on the board. So to sum this up easily, I just made a quick note down here on the bottom of the page that says when the Wind Demon spawns, everyone gains 1 movement, character and allies. When the Frost Demon spawns, we lose 1 movement for every character and ally. And this does not affect monsters, it's just characters and allies. So allies in this case are going to be this guy here, who can do some movement, as well as us. Barty does nothing on his turn according to the game rules. And then if the Lurkers spawn, the last one there, we are all going to be pushed 1 away from where the Lurker is, except for Barty. So Barty's going to just continue to sit where he is, from what I understand. Now, I'm going to take a quick look at the rules outside of this video to ensure that Barty doesn't move, but from what I'm understanding, we have a move 4, attack 3 here, and initiates on 50 on every turn. But this guy over here, Barty, according to the rules, never does anything. So it just says that he has 10 XP, but he never actually moves. So Barty's considered to have initiative of 1 for the purposes of focusing, but does nothing on his turn. So I'm not too sure why it even matters whether he focuses, but I guess what it is if there's once we get all clumped up over here, if we need to know who a monster or someone is focusing on, Barty is very, very low in initiative. So if he was equal distance away from a monster or something like that, Drail would probably would be attacking the monster before he attacks Barty. So, but essentially Barty is just going to sit there the entire game. So that's pretty much the setup, and from here we can just get going. I'm going to stop the video here though, because we're going to run right into the next one with gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you do, hit the like button. If you want to follow along with this particular scenario and others, or just anything on the channel, I have other playthroughs going as well, although this one is taking precedence at the moment. hit the subscribe button. You will get notified of new videos coming out, and I hope to see you in another video in the future. Until next time, guys, keep rolling solo.